Never stop dreaming. Never stop
Okay, shout my friend. Hi guys, what's up? Even over here with Rynardt Van Wyk, Season 1, Episode 6. Really excited to share this testimony. And now he's currently playing in France as well. Phenomenal rugby player. I used to play with him as well. He used to be in my competition, so we had to bump heads against one another. But really respect for this flanker, amazing loose forward, and man, I'm just really glad for what you've achieved in your career and just your perseverance. But yeah, man, I just want to give you an opportunity. Who is Rynardt Van Wyk? Where does he come from? And yeah, man, if you can just share it a bit.
Thanks, Ivan. Thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I'm a farmer's boy. Grew up in Limpopo, in Groblersdal, and in Pietersburg. And then after school, I moved to Natal. And I played some rugby there at the Sharks with Ivan, and then we went to East London together. We played there for a while. I'm 29 years old currently. I have 2 kids and a wife. And I've been playing in France for the last 5.5 years. And that's my story. I'm a rugby player. I live in France, and I really love living here. And it's a quality life to live. It's calm. Nothing rushes us to do anything. And just the quality of life, just walking in the parks and going to a shop and drinking a coffee and things like that I really enjoy. That I feel in South Africa, you are very rushed, and you are very rushed because you have to go to work. You have to be busy there. There's no other way.
No, awesome, man. And Rynardt, tell me a bit, man. What sparked that rugby urge in you to tell yourself, like, listen here, I want to become a professional rugby player? Who was your role models? Who did you look up to and say, you know what, I want to fill the boots of that person, and they really inspire me?
You know, it's for me, rugby was always a passion. When I grew up, my father and my brother, they were rugby players, and but while I was growing up, I used to look up to Skinstad, and later on I was looking up to Pierce, those type of players, and from the age of 14, I started to think about playing rugby after school, but I never thought that it would happen. I think after my final year in high school, I broke my leg the year before, and I thought maybe that year that I'm going to stop playing rugby. I'm going to stop playing rugby. I'm going to start working. And a funny story, I was working with my brother. We were digging a hole, and then I was working for 3 months after school. I was doing plumbing.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from the Sharks Academy. It said they want me to come and play there. So I went there. I was very happy. So I went to the academy. But when I got there, they said to me, we played 4 chakas, I think. That's 20 minutes 4 times. We played 20 minutes against everybody. And the first chaka, they threw me in as a tight head prop. And then the second one, the coach threw me in as a loose head. The third one, I was a lock. And then the fourth one, I finally moved to my position as flanker. And so I was very surprised to learn that I was playing prop when I got there, because they thought they could make me a loose head. And then suddenly that year, I got selected to play flank for the Sharks under 19 team. So yeah, it's funny. I never thought I would be a professional rugby player, but I always wanted to be one.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I just think Donnie Mini, one of your great friends, he can be lucky he don't play prop anymore. You might have had him up for a big challenge over there. And
Yes,
yeah, man, I'm just thinking back as well at the days at the Sharks and at Border as well. I mean, the training sessions that we went through was just on another level. I mean, a guy like Jason Sill just pushing us to our limits, and I mean the mental challenges that we had. I know myself, there was a few times that you wanted to give up. You're like, no, I don't think I want to play rugby anymore. This isn't for me. I want to go work and maybe hit the ball or something. But what was that main anchor for you that you just held on? Doesn't matter which challenge came your way or difficulties that we faced. I mean, sometimes, especially at border, there was shortage of salary. We got paid later at times, and we did get negative. But what kept that belief in yourself and that hunger just to say, you know what, doesn't matter what comes my way, I'm just going to push through?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is there's no plan B. There was no plan B. There was no plan B. There was only one plan, and was to play on a higher level. You know, sometimes they gave us short courses to do, like coaching courses, or we did a few. We studied, I think, 2 or 3 years. We studied in the academy, but I never got my certificate. So there was in my back of my head, there was only one plan, is to play rugby and make a living out of it. And in South Africa, it was difficult if you don't have anything as a rugby player. I've seen a lot of players looking for work and stuff after rugby, but in France, there's more, how can I say, it's like SAFA, they look after the players more here in terms of coaching and studying and stuff like that. Study while you play, which is very important, which I never did. And I wish I did, but in the last few years, I've been doing things, studying things and working to open a gym in a year or two. I don't know why my voice is like this. I think I'm cold.
No worries, man. And yeah, man, I'm just thinking back then as well. I mean, we just had one thing on mind as well. That was just rugby. Or if we had time off, we would play some PlayStation or Xbox and those kind of things. But looking back, how many time did we actually waste that we could have used it productively to study and actually to make a community between the rugby players, to encourage each other, to say, you know what, rugby is amazing. Let's work hard while we have the time to use our career to the best benefit. But what we could have actually done is so much more phenomenal in a space where we could have encouraged each other, where they have different kind of talents. I think a lot of guys are shy to share their talents. I mean, there's some rugby players who can really sing, but just because it's a manly thing, you don't want to use that talent because you're scared of someone else is going to think something strange of you. I can remember that one youngster that played under 19 at border. I mean, he's doing phenomenal now with his singing career. And I'm just thinking, why are we limiting ourselves just in a rugby thing? And I think ego comes so hand in hand with this, because we're trying to discredit other people's talents, and we don't want to encourage one another to be better. So what would you say would you have done different if you can go back now? Would you have studied? Would you have maybe looked at starting a small business, saving up money? How would you do things differently if you could go back, so that youngsters today coming into the system, that they can use this information to use it for positive wise? Because I mean, the rugby career, if you're really blessed, you can play until the age like 35 or 37 if you're a Skulk Brits. But yeah, man, what would your input be on that?
I know a professional hooker that's still playing. He's 38 at the moment.
That's good. So let's make it 38. He's lucky.
Yeah. To answer your question, I think you're 100% right. We must be more encouraging, but we must also look at our backgrounds and where we come from, and what opportunities you have and what you have made with those opportunities you had, and the options that were given to you after, let's say, the options we were given while we were playing there in East London was there wasn't a lot of options to study. So you either had to, if you wanted to study something else, you had to go to UNISA or something. But we could have achieved much more with our time, I think, because all of our time just went into rugby and then waiting for tomorrow's training, and then training and then waiting for the next day's training. But we could have used that time we had and studied something important, or you know, even get a diploma in something in business or in anything. So you're definitely 100% right. We must be more encouraging that. And from a young age, I see schoolboys now more professional than players. I mean, look at Office, Great College, those schools. Those boys are massive.
Yeah.
Massive. 16, 17 years old. They look like they've been in the gym their whole lives. So
Okay.
I say it's definitely so important to study something, or if you can have a good working experience after school. You know, whether you work with your hands or you've got a smart brain, I'm definitely one of those guys that have to work with my hands. So yeah, definitely 100% I agree with you.
No, that's awesome, man. Yeah, and I think for the older guys as well, it's never too late to start something, because I know a lot of guys coming to the end of their career, they feel discouraged. They feel that they can't make it anymore, and we kind of connect our identity with rugby alone. And once that is stripped away, then you're not really sure who you are, where you're really from, and the only thing that you face yourself is with problems. And I really want to encourage rugby players, even though they're not playing anymore, but still be in contact with one another, to make sure, listen, send your buddy a message. Hey man, how's it going? Are you doing fine? Is there anything I can help with? Just to assist one another, and as you say as well, to make sure that they are encouraged and they are on the right way. And Rynardt, tell me a bit there in France compared to the rugby in South Africa. Are those French boys tough as well, or are you giving them some shots that side?
I can definitely, I can tell you one thing. I've played for Marseille last season in Paris, and then I went directly from Marseille to play for the EP Elephants in the Super Sport Challenge, and then that was the time I really felt the difference between the two. Because after I played Currie Cup, I went to Dubai to work for a year, so I couldn't really. I couldn't put one and two together, what was the difference. I knew South African rugby, the speed was way up there, and the skill level. But physically, the rugby in France is on another level. And I promise, my first game in France, I was playing for Macon, and I saw my teammate, the number 6, step on a guy's head on the ground.
Sure.
And I saw this, and while I was jogging to get back in place, I saw that guy get up and he knocks the number 6, but he knocks him out. And then I just see 15 against 14, because at that moment I was still not realizing what's happening at this moment. And then one of my South African teammates got backed by 2 or 3 guys, and I said, "Oh, now I have to go." And then I think the France leagues are known for their fights. I haven't seen any other league fight as much as the French people fight. And fighting is, if you play at home, you're more likely to get in a fight, because the guys psych them up. They psych each other up before the matches. It's not like in South Africa. Maybe you put your earphones on, you listen to some music, you go through your list of things you want to achieve today in the game, your goals, how many tackles you want to make. Here, they hit each other with their heads and slap. I've been slapped so many times by my own teammates before the game. That's why now, before we play, I'll go sit that side and pretend like I'm busy strapping my foot or something. Yeah, but it's definitely, it's different. But I would say it's more like that old club rugby, old club rugby, like in the old days in South Africa.
And tell me, Rynardt, I'm just thinking now as well. I know you usually as the probably the funniest guy I've ever used to play with. Always up for a joke, coming up with new things, doing the craziest things possibly. And yeah, man, thanks for all those laughters. But there was a time where that kind of stopped, and you realize, okay, well, you are the captain of the team, and you're responsible for helping the guys to shift their mindset. And I really just want to honor you for that. I mean, you always had the capacity to give us hope. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard used to look at times, but you really encouraged us just to give the best for ourselves and to remember that we're playing for one another. But what was that tick box for you to get you in that mindset? What was your list of crazy things, putting on the left sock first and then the right sock and then brushing your teeth? What was the main thing that got you in your mindset that you needed to be?
That's a very good question. I think, but thank you for the compliment. And my thing is always to be a part of the team. I'm not a massive talker. I believe in a captain like Corne Krieger, those type of captains that lead with example. I felt like it was important when we leave the field. That's when I make my jokes, and you know me, I was a crazy man. But
Yeah.
when you get onto that field, I feel like it's not business time and it's time to work. And if it goes well with the team, um, it must go well with all of us. If it goes badly, it must go bad with all of us. I think you must be part of the team. The captain shouldn't be up here, because I was always in between. I was always the guys could tell me anything. I would have a beer with everyone, make jokes with everyone. I was part of the boys, and I think they felt that they can tell me anything. Uh, they can go to war with me, but they can also do something serious with me. So I just wanted to be a part of the team. That's all.
No, that's awesome, man. And yeah, Rynardt, so here we come to the last part of the show. I just want you to leave one message for the viewers out there as well. I know you're busy with something awesome as well. We spoke a bit yesterday about your Facebook page that you have. Tell us a little bit more about that, and just a message of encouragement for South Africans, especially in this time that we have now with the lockdown and those kind of things. But yeah, man, just go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ivan. I think firstly I want to address the most important one is the lockdown. I just hope South Africans take it very seriously, because I've seen some videos of people licking trolleys and stuff. But anyways, Italy started that way, exactly that way. They were ignorant, and the authorities said stay in your house, and then overnight the numbers climbed with 3 times, 4 times the number it was the day before. And I just want to tell you to take the pressure off your medical staff and the police and stuff, because they're already dealing with so much people. So stay indoors, and good luck to you and your families. And may God bless all of you. I'm also South African, so my mom and dad and my brother, my sister also stays there. So I just want to say, may God be with all of you, and please just be smart. Wipe your hands, wash your hands, and don't kiss each other this time and stuff like that. Just be smart. And the last thing I want to say is, for rugby players, it's important to follow your dream and never stop chasing that dream. But while you're chasing, you can tick other boxes. You can study something along the line, or get some working experience. I've seen places that take people with experience over diplomas and degrees and stuff like that. But make sure you study along the way, or do something that will bring you another income, whether it's, I don't know, selling stuff online, or just make sure you always have something else. And I wish I knew this when I was younger. And that's all I can say. And I want to say thank you for having me on the show. It was awesome seeing your face again. I always see your photo.
That's awesome, my friend. And yeah, man, I really want to thank you for your time. And man, I just really honor you as a person. And just keep on doing what you're doing, man. I think you're inspiring a lot of people without even realizing it. I see your training exercises and everything like that. So keep on doing that. And yeah, guys, follow Rynardt on Instagram, Facebook. I'll also be posting this during the lockdown stage. And yeah, man, so this has been season 5, episode 6. Share it with your friends. Tell us how this has changed your life. And yeah, man, just leave a comment down below. Thanks a lot, guys.